things are heating up in the most literal of ways. It's just getting nice and freaking sunny out. Now, I don't want to speak too soon. If you're unaware, Ohio and neighboring regions, sometimes winter can be a little finicky, right? It's like, oh, we're starting to warm up, and then a week from now might snow, right? So a little on the unpredictable side. But luckily enough, this year, or at least this winter, I don't think there were too many crazy snowstorms that actually kept guys from going to the gym. Usually every time one is like big enough that it kind of affects a whole sort of side of the country, I'll get enough comments where it's like, fuck, bro, I had to skip the gym, couldn't drive. Or it's like, my mom didn't want me to drive in the snow. Reasonable concern, obviously that's not completely unwarranted. But yeah, if you're actually, no shit. Even if you're in the warmer climates, I mean, yeah, even down in Florida, they just got hit by, hurricane whatever. And I mean, we've all seen the gyms of the Planet Fitnesses flooded up to like treadmill level. Arguably, that's a bit more cumbersome than a little bit of snow. But we're getting into the good season, summertime, nearly, and a couple more months. But that does not mean that the bulk will end, not in the slightest. So we're going to keep going strong, and so far, it's slow and steady. All it's been necessary, right? I'm talking about 3,400-ish calories. I've been tracking, but I haven't been hitting that specific number like with any difficulty. It's kind of just been how much I've been eating, and that's got me up to the it's got me back up to the 260s, which is quite a feat. I mean, I remember, oh man, yeah, I mean, this was like a couple years ago now. It was one of the bulks where I had hit 250 before, so 260 was kind of the goal, and I was getting real stuck at that 255 mark, and I was like seriously trying to put down food like a damn heathen. I'm talking like foods that probably were not necessarily ideal in terms of a solid kind of calorie intake and not a stressful kind of approach. But I mean, the amounts certainly felt like a pretty dang gargantuan meal every time I was eating, but I couldn't break past that 255. So I mean, that just goes to show the kind of bulking, dieting back and forth I've been doing has gradually made it easier to reach higher and higher body weights. Oh man, I mean, I remember when 260 was like completely out of the wheelhouse, and now I feel like 260 is just regular ass walking around weight, like a certain character we're all pretty aware of by now. But yeah, so plan for today. Mark's coming back from school for a couple days, so I think he might even be waiting for me at the gym now. He doesn't have a key. Honestly, I should have brought, yeah, crap, what the hell? I've got another key. I should have brought that for him. Yeah, well, I will. I gotta make some copies though, so there's more than just like the two floating around. But plan for me, at least with chest, I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. On chest, right? As much as I do think there's a lot of value in a crazy heavy ass set of incline Smith or incline dumbbell, I think it's in my better interest to kind of go back and forth. Like same thing with quads. How I'm doing like a dirty ass crazy quad day, like dirty in a good way. I just mean like heavy, and then the next leg day is just hamstrings, adductor, calf focused, so that I can kind of counteract and give my knees and my quads enough time to really recover, so that when I come back and throw a ton of weight around, I'm not building more and more fatigue and like joint damage, which is gonna just screw with me later on. So I take the same approach a little bit, honestly, with kind of all these lifts. Maybe not so much arms, because I'm never doing arms in like such an insane way that they're ever getting like completely destroyed, like tendons or anything. I'm getting smart enough not to do that, like with 2-plate skull crushers or trying to curl the hundreds. But even with back, chest, and legs, I've been kind of going back and forth. While I'll have more of a heavier based like just hard, physically loaded working set lift, and then I would counter that with what's going to be today, at least starting with some more squeeze based work. Maybe we'll see. I've got some sets in mind. I'm talking cable flies, pec deck, converging chest press. I might even do there's one chest press there that's more of like a vertical upright seated one. You're pressing horizontally, and usually I'm not a fan of when guys will sit sideways on the chest press and they're kind of doing a one arm like this. But I did a couple feeler reps, and honestly the squeeze was pretty nuts. So that might be a good superset, some kind of combination of like 5 rep alternating single side chest press, light-ish, really squeezing, and then immediately jumping onto the pec deck and burning out. I mean, just thinking about that now, my chest is already getting a little bit pumped from just the imagination of how that set will feel. And other than that, I might still bounce around some Smith machine after a few sets of lighter squeezing stuff. And of course, I won't be loading as much weight as like a fresh, nasty, heavy set. But the fact that I'm already going to be pumped, a bit fatigued, it'll just feel like a different movement, right? If you've never done any like conventionally heavy pressing movements after you've already got that muscle pumped up, you're missing out, right? I'm talking doing squats after leg extensions, obviously with chest, doing bench after flies, pull down, or lat pull downs after lighter squeezing lat pullovers, right? I mean, the combinations are endless. RDLs after laying leg curls, but it is definitely a more interesting kind of sensation, because usually if you just get under some kind of weight, you're warm, you're fresh, like you're not going to hurt yourself, but you're still a little cold just because you're not like really pumped up. I mean, sometimes it gets a little trickier to really feel it, right? Like when I'm doing incline Smith, obviously I'm going to feel it in my chest. It's loaded, but I'm going to feel it much more rep by rep if my chest is already pretty pumped and fatigued first. Plus, if you've ever had like a serious tweak, maybe you messed your rotator cuff up or something, then lifts like that where you start with the lighter movements first, I mean, frankly, I think just like in an overarching umbrella statement, they're kind of safer, because you're starting with a lighter, working kind of squeezing set. Like every time I do triceps and I do light rope extensions, I mean, the set is working twofold, because I'm wrecking my triceps because I'm really squeezing full stretch, but I'm not using a ton of weight. I don't think I would, I'd be pretty damn surprised if I grabbed the 150-pound, pin on the cable sack and did light squeezing rope extensions. I mean, it would be like if lightning struck right now with no clouds to imagine like pulling my tricep or something. I'm not saying it's impossible, but when starting with that lighter squeezing stuff, it kind of makes me feel more comfortable going forward into heavier movements too, right? So this will be my last little note, but if you've got a quad day coming up, and usually in your mind you're thinking, okay, I want to start with squats, I don't want to do anything before squats because doing any working sets is going to tire me out, I want to be fresh so I can move a lot of weight around, I would argue at least try doing some leg extensions first, really pumping up your quads, getting them warm, and then trying to squat and just see how it feels. If it feels like shit and you don't like it and you want to squat when you're fresh, go for it, right? I'm not saying it's the right way to do it, but it's definitely a way to do it, which I really like. So I think no more talking. Let's go meet Mark in here. This will be the first, I guess you could almost say this is the first collab lift in the new gym. A little more casual than that, but you get the gist. All right, everybody putting in that work. So we both got chest. So I don't know how that'll work out spot-wise. I don't think we're doing anything crazy heavy. So a little tandem lift. But pre-anything, mess around with the cables, triceps, lats, rotator cuff, a little bit of chest. But no point in dilly-dallying. Let me get everything limbered up and start with movement number 1. Whatever that ends up being. I usually start upper chest down. Let's start lower chest up. So, real kind of declined flies first, then go from there. If I can pick a better song. That's good weight. So this is light squeezing. Nothing wild. Okay. Okay. Two more, and then I'll move on. Hey, it's checking out the pendulum. That's where that shit's at. Spotted. Oh my god. Oh. Holy crap. Yeah, one more. Jeez. That freaking burns. Alright. Last one of these. All right. Now let's press some shit. Get that incline dumbbell, as he should. But plan now. Let's do that superset I was talking about. Single arm press, and I'm gonna switch sides. So like 5 on the right, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, back and forth a couple times. And it's a little upper chest focused. And then do some pec deck once I'm already burnt out, which I shouldn't be that much weaker from those flies. So I think the stack will be good. But now all I gotta do is go nuts. Hey bro, I'm supersetting that. Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that piece, bro.
Dude, how many sets you got left, bro?
I got like 2 sets, man. You know, I know the owner, so you better back off. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. No. Oh, okay. One more at least. All right. Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look, make sure you get the full length and ROM. 10-second eccentric. Otherwise, your set's not going to do anything. I've been watching a lot of TikToks about this. I know what I'm talking about. Slow, like here, length and partial. Here.
Partials?
That's what you want.
Partials here?
Don't squeeze. Squeeze doesn't do nothing. It's all about the stretch.
Okay, so a stretch.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll remember that.
Yeah, man. Stretch is vaulted. Squeeze is nerfed. I like this one a lot more than the one at the Y, though.
A lot more what?
Oh. Fuck. God damn it.
I did that earlier over to my shin on the chest press.
Yeah, you gotta get used to it.
Yeah, what
But
are
no,
you
it's
saying?
the,
Like this?
nah, this thing, like these points where it rotates,
Yeah.
it's behind your shoulders.
Yeah.
The ones at the Y, it's like 6 inches in front. So with this one, I can actually like stay back. But the one at the Y, I'm doing a lot of this.
Yeah, but he has tear in your shirt. The other one.
It's been there.
Can you move this down to
You ever hear of vintage, man?
Huh?
You never heard of vintage?
No, I've heard of vintage, but I've heard of drag.
Well, you know what? You don't know what you're talking about. All right, come on. Oh, thank you. One more of those. Oh, yeah. I knew. I was talking about this in the car. I knew I would like this. Come on. Oh yeah, squeeze it. 20 more. It's heavy at the bottom. It's heavy down there.
Huh?
It's heavy at the bottom. Yeah, that's good. Strong possibility that this will be my last set. I might do one more converging chest press, maybe. But honestly, in terms of just like pumpedness and fatigued, man, I feel like I'm a damn psychic. I called it. And maybe it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but yeah, this ended up working really good. Something, yeah, I'm not sure, because this is very linear, like the handles don't come together like they do in the other two. So it's almost kind of just similar to a regular like barbell bench or Smith, but by switching around and doing the one, it's almost like I can squeeze to an extra degree, right? Because usually if you're doing even a cable fly, you can only squeeze to here, right? Whereas when I do this kind of chest press a little more crooked, maybe I don't get the craziest stretch, but I get to squeeze all the way across and really feel every sort of freaking fiber of my being, at least in this region only, just lock up like a freaking granite tabletop. But let's get one more and then we'll see. Mark's got some shoulders. Whew. Let's do 10 instead of 5. Okay. Oh my gosh. That was good. Let me think for a second, but I think a pose down is nearly warranted. All right. Yeah, I don't really see much benefit of any more volume. So only he finishes up there. Let's see what we're looking like. But yeah, all the omens that could kind of describe this lift as being sweet are all freaking here. Oh, jeez. Yeah, no point discussing it. Let's just actually look. All right. Yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel much more pumped walking around at 260 something than I did at 230.
Good tight.
Yeah, I need to stretch more for squats. So I got deep tissue work done today.
Oh, really?
And I'm talking to the guy, and that's one thing that changes when I'm bulked up is now I can't freaking squat without spending 10 minutes. Not 10, but like 5 at least. Loosening up. Because I couldn't,
just to get your arms
if you gave me a barbell without loosening up, I couldn't even get it. Like, well, I got a chest pump now, but I can't even get in. Like this, I'm pulling my hands back as far as I can to emulate a squat right now. Not even close. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna get a leather, or like, remember the gymnastics foam or like the wrestler stuff?
Oh, yeah, that'll be good.
I'm gonna roll out 2 of those in the leg corner, and then after leg press I can just lay down.
That'll be good.
That's the plan there. But chest complete. You got a little more shoulders, but schmack it.
Bang.
Ah, shit. Yeah, let's roll. Yeah. As predicted, way more fun having a little bro in the gym. This is going to be a fun summer. I can tell you that for sure. Guaranteed. Hundreds, or at least 100 good ass lifts under the belt. You know, barring any rest days or unforeseeable events. But yeah, that was good. Yeah, I didn't even know he was doing chest too. That's kind of fun. But yeah, so as a light squeezing day, that was freaking perfect. And some people might argue that those 3 light squeezing sets of the flies would some people would say that wasn't an effective set, right? Because they're gonna think, oh man, I mean, I don't understand the hate on the squeeze. You know, it's like it's not major, but whenever guys really get into it, I mean, I'm talking about the extremes. You know, it's like there's I mean, it's straight up a damn 2-party system, right? More old school bro science ego lifterish on this side, science based on this side. And frankly, the difference between like the middle 80% isn't huge. It's that 10% at the end. It's like the oh my god, what do you call it? The you wouldn't say the alt ego. Well, on either side of the spectrum at the extremes, it's always the most heated fucking debates. You know, as though just getting a pump and working out hard somehow doesn't work, and you have to do it a specific way. You know, but it's you know, somebody might argue it's like, well, you know, the squeeze actually doesn't have any direct I don't know what the hell these guys are talking about, you know, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not aiming to sit here and like make sure I get my maximal mechanical load at the bottom of the stretch position of every set. Like that's not, it's not so, you know, one-dimensional, right? Let's go to the gym, go nuts, go a lot, eat your damn big ass bowl of rice and ground beef and, you know, whatever kind of sauce in between to keep it from just getting dry and feeling like a chore to eat, and then running that back, you know. So I guess what I'm really saying is when I'm coming into the gym for a workout at this point in my kind of lifting journey, now that I have, I mean, yeah, I think I'm pretty much, oh yeah, when did I start working out for real? Because it was sophomore. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I gotta go back and find like my old iPod posing videos, or no, I wasn't doing any posing videos when I started, but I was having Mark record me try to do like a 195 PR bench. Jeez, those are way back in the freaking archive. But yeah, I think it's about, I think 7 years now, 7 years deep of the working out. So that's 7 times 365. Let's just say 350 for math's sake. So 2,450 lifts, almost 2,500 workouts, assuming 15 off days a year, which might be a little more than that, at least on average of that whole time period. But either way, more than 2,000 workouts. So I'm looking back at all that kind of experience, and it's not like I'm saying, okay, this workout is the most effective and these ones actually didn't do anything for me, because there's no way to really grasp it like that, because one workout doesn't really do jack, you know. Like if I split myself into a, you know, multiverse right now, and there was one version of me that did this chest day in this bulk, and there's a version of me that didn't do this chest day, the end result's probably nearly exactly the same, right? You wouldn't notice any difference as long as I ate the same food and trained the same in the rest of the workouts. You know, one drop in the bucket, whatever, right? So all I'm trying to get at when I'm working out or coming into the gym for a workout is just changing it up from what I've been doing recently, you know, making sure the intensity is up there, whether I'm doing like a heavier crazy day or like today, a lighter squeezing one, much more kind of, I guess you could say, like intentional with my reps. I'm just trying to make sure that it's different than what I did before, right? So my next quad day, which is going to be in 2 days or so, my last quad lift was like 5 sets of leg press and 2 sets of pendulum squats with leg extensions as pre-exhaust. So now that I'm going into another quad lift, I still want to go heavy, but I'm not going to do the exact same thing. I don't want to change it up. So maybe I'll start with leg extensions, kind of burn out my quads first, and then move on to heavy pressing, right? Or just, some kind of combination of the other. Because the last thing I want to do is just do the exact same lift on repeat. Not only for the sake of, changing it up and making sure that my stimulus is varied so that I can really make sure I'm at least within range of making gains, which so far I have been, but also it's just boring, man. Like, I think when guys argue, or not argue, but when they say, oh man, I'm getting so bored of my split. Dude, I'm so bored of push-pull legs. I'm so bored of the Arnold split. I'm so bored of, whatever they're doing. Really? The split is the problem? I would argue, odds are, you might just be doing workouts that are very repetitive. And that's what's inducing this kind of feeling of, just boredom and, lack of kind of just surprise and interest. Because if I came to the gym and it was always Smith, pec deck, machine chest press, 3 sets of each on repeat, I'd probably get a little bored, So apart from the fact that it's probably just less ideal for real gains, it's just not as fun, right? So that's where I like the idea of being a lifter, or just, for anybody in general getting into working out, is once you've got a good grasp of like the basic gist of what you're doing, change it up. There is absolutely no harm in trying new shit, right? I mean, I've only seen people do that single arm press. I've never actually really done it in my own workouts before today, at least not to any meaningful degree. So that was kind of guesswork, right? I've never done that exact movement. I wasn't sure I was going to really like it, but right, that's kind of what I'm aiming for. Try something new every so often, or at least on a reasonably consistent basis, and then whether you like it or not, you still learned something about your training, because either A, you liked it, now you have a new movement or a new superset at your disposal, or B, you don't like it, and now you know that you don't like it, so you don't have to try it again for a while. But maybe it's been like 6 months, you try it again, and for whatever reason now you can actually really feel it. I mean, I didn't do leg press for, Jesus, man, years, because I felt so much glutes instead of quads. Really, I didn't have as good of a quad firing mechanism in my mind, so I just kind of had to progress mind-muscle connection wise. But after coming back, after not doing it for a while, even though I didn't really love it before, now I'm getting all quads. I'm getting off the leg press after even those last 5 sets of leg press in a row from the last quad day. My glutes don't feel sore at all quad activation, so it's like that quote, a man can never step into the same river twice, right? Because he's not the same man, and it's not the same river, right? Same thing with the workouts, man, right? A guy cannot do the exact same workout twice, because you're not the same guy after a certain period of time. So I guess the key theme of this idea, just change it up, right? Don't be afraid to try some other shit, because I think that's one thing that's changed for me, at least over the last, even just 2 years. I think I've gotten a lot better at having a more open mind with the lifts, where I'm not so constrained by following the exact same patterns every time. And instead of thinking well, why would you do cables first? I want to start with heavy pressing first when I'm strong, right? That was my thought process pretty much, die hard 2 years ago. Why would I want to start with cable flies? I want to start with heavy pressing. Otherwise, what am I doing? I'm just weakening myself, right? But now I see I've been enlightened to the ideas of changing shit up, and it might not feel like that much, right? But I think you've got a lot of gain, or a lot to gain, and a lot of gains to gain by doing so, But even though it might feel like just a marginal change, I think it's worth doing. So maybe next time you're lifting with one of your boys, have them, do their lift, see what they're all about. Maybe you love it, or maybe you hate it and you say, I'm never doing Josh's leg day again. That was the dumbest thing I've ever tried. But at least you tried it, right? So that's my little shtick. But I am ready to eat my pre-workout meal was about 60 grams of carbs worth of rice, 60 grams of protein worth of ground beef, and then a couple dollops of some like creamy buffalo sauce, all kind of just mixed together. That is the way to do it too. Frankly, that's kind of like one of my favorite bulking meals, just because it's so easy to eat. You know, like if you've got just anything dry, frankly, I'd say dryness is the enemy of getting a lot of food down, right? Like if you want to tip on, like, oh, well, what are the best foods to eat when I'm bulking? There's no one answer, but you know, anything that you can actually, chow down on quick is going to be your best bet. But that's a talk for another time. I think we're long overdue for a full day of eating as well. So that's I'll make sure to get that going in the next couple days. How sometimes they end up doing a lot more talking in those than actually like showing off the meals. What do you think? For the next full day of eating, should I do like a little bit more highlighting of the preparation of the food in between? So it's like breakfast, this many eggs, this much rice, this many pieces of bread with this many grams of butter spread on top, and this much orange juice, right, or something else. Yeah, I think that'd be a little better. So that'll be the plan later this week, I think. But now all I gotta do, go home, get a freaking, not even a metric F ton of food, but a good amount of food in my system, and then odds are, holy crap. Yeah, I mean, my chest is still freaking burning.